Samantha, Samantha, that's just me.
Hey guys, welcome back to another brand new video. I know it's been a while since I filmed a video. I think if I remember correctly, the last video I ever filmed was back in December when I was making that gingerbread house. Yeah, so it's been a while. Hi. Yeah, and I come back to you guys with another video for us to react to, and this video is quite interesting. What we are reacting to today. Yeah, so sorry for the little cough, guys. So yeah, as I was saying, today we're gonna be reacting to a video by Brew, the channel Brew, which I'll leave a link down below if you want to go and check out that channel. The video is titled how actual human meat ended up in Wendy's food. Now I don't know about you, but I think the last thing I would want to be eating is human meat, especially by Wendy's or any restaurant. And I can't imagine how her meal tasted either. But I mean, I don't know how human meat would end up in her food. I guess we're gonna find that out once we get to this video. But I just want to give a little quick disclaimer. Not disclaimer, just a little heads up that I'm gonna be whispering here and there because my mom's next door sleeping and I don't really want to disturb her. And also my voice is not feeling great, so that's why I'm tucked up in my bed as well. So you're gonna have to just bear with me. But yeah, let's get into the video.
On March 22nd, 2005, Ana Ayala was sat down at a Wendy's in San Jose, California, about to enjoy a steaming hot bowl of their famous chili. But as she took her first bite, she paused mid-chew after a crunch. Not the satisfying kind, mind you. No, this was something unnatural. Overcooked bean, maybe? A chunk of gristle. Slowly, cautiously, she reached into her mouth, her fingers touching a chunk of something that felt alien, but was in fact all too human. As she pulled it out of her mouth to see what it was, her eyes went wide with horror. It was a severed human finger.
Oh, is that?
You're joking, right? You're joking. Or anything? You know what? Actually, I should have gave a disclaimer. Actually, if you're eating, don't eat during this video because this video is most likely and 100% gonna put you off. Now that we just found out, sorry that I didn't give a disclaimer. But excuse me. Oh, she better got her fucking mind my language. She better got to I can't speak. She better got her money back and the fresh meal. Okay.
Not real.
No, not actually. This is a post from Our Lies. This is the real finger.
Ew, what the heck? That barely looks like a finger.
Yes, well, yeah.
You know what that looks like? That looks like a fake finger. It's probably a real finger, but it looks fake. I think it's supposed to be white. That looks fake. You know what that looks like? It looks like one of those little fake stick up what do you call them? I'm probably gonna put an image of what I'm trying to talk about. But yeah, it looks like one of those things. That doesn't look like a real finger. It's disgusting. That's actually disgusting. How does someone's finger end up in someone's Wendy meal? How? That's nasty.
At this point, it had been cut off someone's hand and allegedly cooked and chomped down on, so excuse it if it's a little deformed. But I can assure you, this is a real image of two segments of the finger that was in Anna's bowl of Wendy's chili. Now, I can't properly describe exactly what this moment would have felt like since I have never engaged in cannibalism, accidental or otherwise, but it's safe to say that this incident would have been
trauma-inducing. Soul-sickening?
Yeah, sure, let's go with one of those. According to Anna and others at the scene, upon discovering what she had bit into, she screamed.
No. You know what? Not even would it be like traumatic, but like just you wouldn't be able to look at any meal the same anymore without thinking like is someone's like hair or finger or other things. That might be funny. Like the things that you find these days in your meals is like insane to me. But one of the things I keep noticing, I keep finding, and I'm pretty sure other people find this, is like hair. Hair is like okay, it's hair. Like I mean, it's gross. Don't get me wrong, it's gross. Like wear a hairnet next time, or just like your hair back. But like a thumb is a little bit less straight. Oh my god! Or if that ever happened to me, I don't think I would be able to like, eat any meal the same anymore, or even look at chicken the same anymore. Honestly, I feel bad for this woman. Like, God bless her. Like, oh my
vomited, and then proceeded to carry the finger around the restaurant, showing it to other customers while yelling, "Don't eat the chili! Look what I found in mine!" Before eventually making her way to the counter to inform restaurant employees, who then immediately
I'm not being
reported.
funny. I would have done the same. I would have started warning other people, and not even I would have immediately wanted to speak to the manager. Like in that moment, I would have had every right to turn into a Karen. Okay, every right to turn into a Karen and start complaining to the manager. Because what the fuck? How does something like that end up in a mill? Like, are you not checking your food? Or are you not? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. But no, I don't blame her for doing that.
It to the police.
This brings a whole new meaning to the consumable category known as finger food. I am attempting a new subroutine. Why are you not laughing?
Oh.
When Dr. Martin Fensterscheid, the Santa Clara County health officer, arrived at the scene, the restaurant was closed, the police were standing guard, and the contaminant was already wrapped in damp gauze. After confirming that it was without a doubt a human finger, Dr. Fensterscheid ordered the finger to be transported to the medical examiner's office for a full analysis and personally spoke to Ana Ayala, the woman at the center of all of this. In his words, "I had to confirm it to her that she had indeed put a piece of a human finger in her mouth. She kinda lost it."
But whose finger was it? Was there an accident in the kitchen?
Interesting you should say that.
Then who the hell chops off their own finger and loses track of where it goes? I mean,
Exactly my point. Like, who loses track of that? Like, who's preparing the food that you don't see that happening? Like, excuse me? Hello?
I guess they could have been distracted by the hand split and blood everywhere and didn't notice it roll into a pot of chili.
A logical theory.
What if someone put it there on purpose? But then what kind of sicko did she piss off to get this comic book villain level of revenge?
All will be answered soon, Grill, don't worry. But first, the most pressing questions were those regarding the immediate health concerns of the people involved. If, for example, could this finger have transmitted any viruses? Fensterscheid reassured Anna that the chili's cooking temperature likely killed anything harmful. Still, to be safe, she was advised to undergo baseline viral
I
testing.
didn't think about that. Like, well, I don't know why I didn't think about that. But, like, the thing is, like, when you find, like, hair and, like, nails and this and that in your food, I guess it would have contaminated food, obviously, because I mean, you don't know what's in that, that finger. Like, I didn't think about that because that's like a whole finger. So she could have like digested all kinds of like bacteria or anything harmful. Or if this was happening during COVID, yeah, yeah, yeah. But like, I didn't think about that. I don't know why I didn't think about that. But like, yeah, I guess it would be like some hygiene risk. But, like, I actually got refunded for that because, bro,
But it wasn't just Anna's health that was of concern. That batch of chili had been cooked at 2 p.m. and she ate it around 7:20 p.m., a 5-hour window where who knows how many others might have been exposed to food contaminated with a human body part. Or, potentially, body parts in it.
Monday.com is the
I thought, forget about advert. Yeah, no, like, yeah, because if you think about it, like, she's not the first. Then, like, eat a certain part of her body. And like just to think there's probably like other people who are probably like full on at that meal and now it's like digesting inside of them and like now they're like at risk at like they're at risk for like different other kinds of like diseases or bacteria and stuff. So that's like that's actually really concerning.
So, a public helpline was set up for people who dined at Wendy's that evening, just in case anyone else wanted to report concerns. Wendy's, meanwhile, was in full damage control mode. Their senior vice president, Danny Lynch, publicly denied any wrongdoing on behalf of the company, emphasizing the integrity of their food preparation processes and pledging full cooperation with investigators. But words couldn't shelter Wendy's from the financial fallout, with the publicity of the incident ending up costing the company an estimated $1 million daily in loss of sales over the following weeks. And Anna, she didn't shy away from the spotlight, making multiple appearances on national television to share her horrific experience. But while Anna went on her media tour, the mystery deepened at the examiner's office. Enter Dr. Joseph O'Hara, the county medical examiner, whose analysis left more questions than answers. The finger was found in two pieces, a 1-inch fingertip complete with fingerprints whorls intact, and a half-inch fingernail. It appeared torn, as though caught in some sort of industrial machinery, and showed signs of being cooked but not fully. Now, according to Wendy's policy, chili is simmered at 170 degrees for 3 hours, but the finger had no indications that it had been cooked under those conditions. There was heat damage to the skin, but not to the tissue underneath, and considering Wendy's slow cooking process...
Okay, hold on. Right, I know it's the finger, right? But how we not got to the point of like identifying this finger? Like whose finger this is? Because I mean this could be someone's finger and like but then also another thing I was thinking as well was like what if this is like a whole murder case? Like what if they have like a murderer in there like they stash in staff you know what I'm trying to say, in their place, like working among them. He was like a murderer or serial killer and his only way of like getting rid of like his victims is by like serving them up as like Wendy meals. You you don't know these days. That's the thing, like you don't know what goes on like behind the kitchens or behind anywhere. And like that's what really that's made me really uncomfortable to be honest. But yeah, again, if anyone's eating McDonald's or Wendy's or wherever, I do sincerely apologize. I should have put a disclaimer. I'll probably have a disclaimer at the beginning of the video. Magic of editing. But yeah, we're not gonna like identify this video like this finger and find out whose finger this is. Like I know he was in someone's mouth and someone's meal, but we're not gonna find the owner.
For lack of a better way to put this, the meat should have been falling off the bone.
So it couldn't have been in the chili very long.
Right, but not only that, it meant that it was quite likely that Wendy's was not responsible for the contamination. After all, there is a precedent for corporations to be framed for this sort of thing. Like in November 2008, when Ronald Ball from Wood River, Illinois made a routine stop at a vending machine at work during his break. This time, his choice was a can of Mountain Dew. The can gave its usual hiss as Ronald popped the tab, but according to him, when he took a sip, it didn't taste or smell anything like Mountain Dew. His stomach twisted violently within seconds, leaving him nauseous and alarmed. Seeking answers, Ronald poured the soda into a styrofoam cup, watching the pale green liquid bubble and fizz, just as it should. But then, something unusual surfaced. Among the foam and fizz floated a small, lifeless mouse.
Oh no, little guy.
The woman was too stunned to speak.
Do I have to say anything? I don't think I have to. I don't think I have to say anything. No. I'm just never gonna open a can of Viz ever again. I'm probably gonna double check my drinks next time and then probably gonna double check my meals as well. Because not only does my meal have a finger, but now my drink has the plague in it. Okay. Yummy. Mouse. A mouse. Serious. I know I'm being like over dramatic over here. That's why I'm wearing this shirt. But like, we're just not taking hygiene seriously anymore. Factories, places that produce food and stuff. Are we not taking hygiene seriously anymore? Restaurants, are we not taking hygiene seriously anymore? Anyway,
Guy got lost in the sauce. I know mice have got a thing for cheese, but...
Actually, that's a common misconception.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you wouldn't think it, but actually they prefer grains and fruit and sweet things over smelly cheeses for the most part.
Huh. The more you know.
Determined to seek accountability for the mouse in his Mountain Dew, Ronald reached out to PepsiCo, the soda's parent company. He described the horrifying experience in detail, expecting a thorough investigation. But according to Ronald, the response was anything but reassuring. PepsiCo allegedly dismissed his claims, leaving him feeling ignored and disrespected. What Ronald saw as a terrifying and dangerous breach of trust, they seemed to view as implausible, even impossible. Unwilling to let the matter rest, Ronald took legal action. In 2009, he filed a lawsuit against PepsiCo, seeking $50,000 in damages for the physical illness and emotional distress the incident had caused. The case quickly evolved into a high-stakes standoff between an individual and a corporate giant. PepsiCo's response?
sorry guys, another advert.
Called him a liar.
Damn. But how could they be so sure he was lying?
Well, their argument hinged on one key point: the mouse. According to them, it was scientifically impossible for it to have been in the soda for the amount of time he was suggesting. Pepsi enlisted the expertise of Dr. Lawrence McGill, a veterinarian and pathologist who provided an affidavit that would become the cornerstone of their defense. Dr. McGill, after conducting an autopsy on the mouse, outlined in meticulous detail how Mountain Dew, with its high concentrations of phosphoric and citric acids, creates an environment highly effective at breaking down organic matter. The calcium in the mouse's bones would begin to dissolve within days, destabilizing the skeletal structure. And over the course of a month, enzymatic degradation and acid erosion would reduce the mouse to a gelatinous mass, with only trace elements like parts of the tail.
Wait, is he trying to say that like the mouse wasn't in there for that long? Like it was only in there for like a brief few hours or minutes or whatever. Am I understanding this correctly? Because sometimes information takes long to go through my brain. But like, is that what we're trying to say? That it probably wasn't in there for that long? Because I mean, it makes sense, to be honest, if you think about it, like the mouse would have started like decomposing and blah blah blah, like all that stuff he was saying. So is that what he's trying to say? That it probably wasn't in there for that long? And like that doesn't even make sense either because it would, I don't know, I brain's not working today, I can't process information today.
Potentially remaining intact. Dr. McGill pointed out that Ronald's rodent, which appeared to be very young, possibly an infant rat, still retained its bones, vital organs, and cartilage, and lacked any signs of decomposition one would expect after an extended period in Mountain Dew. Not only that, but considering the young age of the rodent, the doctor explained that this mouse had not been born when the can of Mountain Dew was filled and sealed on August 28, 2008.
Could have been a time-traveling mouse.
Okay. Shoot your shot, buddy. I'm all ears.
Yeah, they lied about liking cheese. Who knows what else they're lying about?
And that would be fun, right? Mice unlocking the secrets of time travel. But let's explore a theory that maybe the rodent was placed in the can after it had been sealed by Pepsi. In Dr. McGill's professional opinion, it was clear that the mouse could not have been in the can for the 78 days between production and Ronald's discovery. Realizing that his case had been irreparably weakened, Ronald ultimately agreed to settle for an undisclosed sum, details of which remain a mystery to this day.
Okay, what the doctor's saying is pretty convincing. But, and hear me out, what if Pepsi gave him a little cheddar to lie for them?
It's understandable to question whether Dr. McGill's claims hold truth, but it just so happens that there is a fascinating YouTube video where someone actually conducted their own Mountain Dew mouse experiment, documenting the entire process from start to finish. Quick warning, what you're about to see might not sit well with sensitive stomachs.
Wait, what?
Here it shows exactly what happens to a mouse after 30 days submerged in Mountain Dew.
Oh!
Gross indeed, but you'll notice that the results align uncannily.
I can't see it, but I can imagine what's going on, and I don't want to imagine it. I definitely should put a disclaimer at the beginning of this video, Sam. Put a disclaimer at the beginning of the video, okay? Do that. gave these people, or my viewers, their eyes and their mind, okay, and their appetite.
Finally, with Dr. McGill's description.
So disgusted.
The way the mouse decomposed, the gelatinous consistency, the remnants of the tail matches his explanation almost to the letter. Coincidence? Highly unlikely. But for further proof that McGill knew exactly what he was talking about, all one has to do is look at another Pepsi incident that occurred just 1 year later. This time, the case's legitimacy was hard to refute, seeing as the creature inside this soda can had become nearly completely stupefied before Fred Denegri was unfortunate enough to get a taste. In July of 2009, Fred was busy barbecuing in his backyard in Ormond Beach, Florida, when he cracked open a chilled can of Diet Pepsi and took a swig. He gagged almost immediately.
Please, not Pepsi. Not Pepsi. Please, no. No, because I'm never going to be able to look at a Pepsi can the same anymore. Please. 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 I love Pepsi. I know there's a lot of, Pepsi haters, but I love Pepsi. Okay? Please, don't do this to me. Please. Oh, Lord, help me.
Instead of sweet, crisp, and refreshing soda, his throat was met with something revolting beyond imagination. Fred poured the soda down the sink, and that's when his wife, Amy, noticed there was something entirely wrong with the drink. The liquid looked nothing like Pepsi, and the can felt unnaturally heavy. Intrigued, Amy gave it a shake, only for something nightmarish to emerge. First came this slimy, pink mass sliding out of the can. Fred would later describe it as pink linguine, which honestly sounds like something you'd expect from a bad horror movie, not a Diet Pepsi. But the surprises didn't stop there. Next, an inky, dark substance came oozing out. But the heavy object causing all this drama remained firmly stuck inside the can. No amount of shaking or coaxing could dislodge it, leaving Fred and Amy with more questions than answers. Naturally, they knew this needed documentation, so out came the camera and they snapped a photo of the strange, gelatinous pink strands, the ominous dark liquid, and the...
What is that? What is that? Oh, that's definitely not Pepsi, bro. Do you see? Do you see this? That's not Pepsi. I'm telling you now, that is not Pepsi. Is it an octopus? I don't know why, but I'm getting this strange feeling that it's an octopus in their drink. I don't know why. I swear to God, if I'm right, I have superpowers. That's not Pepsi. That is not Pepsi. That doesn't even look like
the can itself. Amy told CNN, what started out as a normal afternoon in our tiki bar has blown up into this crazy thing. The Denegris wasted no time and did the sensible thing. They contacted Poison Control and the FDA. The Poison Control Center instructed Fred to seek immediate medical attention due to the possibility of contamination and the unknown nature of the object inside the can, and the FDA sent officials to the Denegris' home to conduct a thorough investigation and collect the can for laboratory testing. A few weeks later, they shared their findings with the Denegris in a formal report. The FDA's analysis concluded that the foreign substance inside the can appeared to be a frog. Or possibly a...
Hold on. Frog? A frog. A frog. What the fuck did you fucking hop into my drink? How? And there I was hoping for an octopus, but that would have been any better. I digress.
a toad.
Sounds like Fred was one of the few people to literally have a frog in his throat. Tough crowd.
And here's where things get... dare I say, more unsettling. The report didn't just stop at identifying the creature, it noted a peculiar detail. The frog, or toad, was missing its internal organs, particularly those usually found in the abdominal and thoracic cavities. In layman's terms, the heart, lungs, and digestive system were all conspicuously absent.
Hello? Ormond Beach Secondary School? Yeah, this is the FDA. Seems as though one of your students dropped their science fair project in one of the vats during your tour of the Pepsi factory last week.
Correction. My fact check search reveals no schools named Ormond Beach Secondary School.
And you wonder why you're having issues with humor.
It was unclear whether the missing organs were the result of deliberate removal or simply due to decomposition over time, and no definitive answers about how or when the frog or its remains ended up inside the sealed can. What the FDA made clear was that this wasn't a simple oops moment. The absence of internal organs wasn't just gross. It was a forensic clue, whether it pointed to an outside contaminant where someone somehow inserted it in the can after leaving the factory, or if it was a factory mishap, or perhaps some other bizarre twist, it left the door wide open for speculation. As part of the investigation, the Denegris provided a second unopened can from the same 36-pack they had purchased at Sam's Club. This can was also submitted to the FDA for analysis, but no abnormalities or contamination in the second can, suggesting that the issue was isolated to the first can. Now, the FDA didn't just stop at examining the cans themselves. No, they went the extra mile, heading over to Pepsi's Orlando bottling plant for a deep dive into their operations. Between August 4th and 11th, they meticulously inspected the facility, trying to trace any possible connection between the alleged contamination and the production process. But after all that legwork, the FDA came back with a clean slate. No adverse conditions, no signs of any contamination issues linked to the production line. Everything seemed to be running smoothly, at least on the surface. So the plant was cleared. After the FDA wrapped up its investigation, Pepsi issued a statement affirming the integrity of its manufacturing system. The company made it clear that while the FDA couldn't pinpoint how or when the specimen ended up in the can, they trusted their own systems. According to Pepsi, the FDA's inability to find a direct link to the plant meant there was no evidence of any manufacturing fault.
So just because the factory was clean, they get to say, oh, it couldn't have been us, even though a dead frog had clearly been sealed in one of the cans.
Pretty much. Pepsi had all but washed its hands of the situation once the FDA got involved. Despite sending over pictures and providing full documentation of the incident, the Denegris were left hanging. Amy made it clear to anyone who would listen that she believed Pepsi's handling of the incident was a failure and that they showed no real empathy for what had happened. I want to see Pepsi fess up.
No, honestly, I totally agree. Like, it just, to me, it seems like Pepsi is just like, oh, well, not a frog, not our fault.
To it and compensate my husband for the negative publicity they have caused. I'm easy, but they're the ones that are making it hard. In the end, despite Denegri's frustrations and efforts to pursue legal action, the incident with the Diet Pepsi can didn't go much further. Pepsi never admitted any responsibility, and the Denegris didn't follow through with any high-profile lawsuit. Instead, they were simply left with a sense of unresolved tension and disappointment.
Too bad they didn't have a legal team like my buddy's Morgan.
And a frog in her throat. Sorry.
And Morgan. They could have potentially made a hefty sum.
What are you talking about?
You know, America's largest personal injury law firm. These guys win big. If you ever seriously hurt, your injury could be worth millions. A Morgan and Morgan case in Florida ended in...
We're gonna skip over this, guys, because we're going to sleep, and they're gonna be here.
Morgan. But if they did have them as a team, then maybe the couple would have been taken more seriously. Anna's finger chili fiasco, on the other hand, was taken very seriously by the media, Wendy's, and law enforcement. With the story making headlines across the country, everyone was desperate for answers. Anna had begun threatening to sue Wendy's, who was in full damage control mode, hemorrhaging business in San Jose thanks to the scandal. But then, the narrative completely flipped on April 22nd when Wendy's held a promotion at their locations in the Bay Area, offering free Frosties in celebration of Ana Ayala's arrest.
Ha! That's insane! But hang on.
Wait. So they're trying to, like, use her incident as, like, a marketing idea or scheme or to make money. Like, they're literally making money out of her incident. Excuse me? What the hell? Like, I'm not being funny. Is this the world that we're living in now, where we're just not taking responsibility and we're just gonna make money out of situations that we, like, you know? Excuse me? What audacity? Like, this lady literally had a full thumb, and she could have got seriously sick from it, and then there they are
And why was she arrested? Did they find out whose finger it was?
No, not yet, actually, but she had been arrested for a reason, get this, completely separate from the chili case. You see, when Anna publicly threatened to sue Wendy's, the company joined forces with the San Jose Police Department, prompting an official investigation into Anna Ayala herself. Turns out, she had quite the knack for legal theatrics long before her finger fiasco at Wendy's. Anna had filed no fewer than 13 civil actions across California and Nevada, many involving her children, and in several of these cases, she managed to secure settlements before the cases ever made it to trial. Take, for example, her claim against an El Pollo Loco restaurant in Las Vegas, where she alleged that her daughter had fallen ill after dining there. While Anna claimed to have received a settlement from the restaurant, El Pollo Loco denied any such payment, adding further doubt to the credibility of her accusations. And then there was her husband, Jamie Placencia, who had a criminal background that included charges of evading arrest. Authorities soon pieced together a pattern not just of Anna's actions, but of a duo whose history of legal disputes seemed almost calculated. So while Anna strutted around accusing Wendy's, the skeletons in her closet were practically throwing a parade. By the time it all unraveled, she wasn't just a woman with a chili finger story. She was someone with a past that made people think maybe this isn't her first rodeo, and maybe this whole finger thing was a farce.
Hey guys, I'm just coming in to basically say, this is the outro. I hate that this is the outro. Because again, like usual in this channel, I had technical issues, but mostly with microphone this time, like I always do with microphones and audio and cameras and all of it, right? So it turns out when I was trying to finish editing this video that the last 3 clips didn't have audio in them. So I'm gonna have to just end the video like this. But I mean, if you guys want to like finish watching the rest of this video, I will leave the link to the video down below. Even the channel if you want to go check the channel out. But I just want to let you guys know that like this is not gonna be a forever thing. Like I am gonna later on be upgrading to better equipment, even a whole setup as well that I'm really looking forward to and been investing in. And also I am gonna be starting a new like series or episode soon on my channel that I'm really hoping that you guys will enjoy or find entertaining or, you know, just fun to watch. But I hate that this is gonna be the outro, and I hate how in every video I have technical problems and I'm always apologizing, being like, sorry guys, because the thing is I want to bring the best to you guys. Yeah, as I was saying before, my mom was coughing in the background. You know, I hate how I keep having technical problems in my videos and then always apologizing and stuff, because, you know, like always and every time I keep telling you guys that I want to bring the best to you guys. Like I want to bring the best quality in everything that I do, you know. And I just hate how this video is just a massive flop. Like in all honesty, it's a massive flop. Like when I was editing it, I was like, oh my god, the audio is bad. Like from the actual video is not that bad, but the mic that I'm using to talk is so bad, and it aches my soul. But again, I am going to be upgrading soon, so this is not going to be a forever thing. And I'm also trying to be more consistent as well on my channel. But I just hope you guys can forgive me one time and for this video. To be honest, it's a really good chunk as well that I was able to say, like 44 minutes long of the video. So I hope that 44-minute long video that I was able to say was somewhat entertaining and stuff. But again, if you guys have found this video entertaining, please leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more videos from me, hopefully better videos from me. But yeah, I guess I'm gonna go now and catch you guys in the next video. Bye guys.